Hey, what up? It's Ty 1822. Would an off season be bad for WWE or a good thing? Now, yesterday on Twitter, the 420 Goonie tweeted, you know, do y'all think WWE should have an off season? And I told him, you know what? I wouldn't mind they have an off season. Now, it's could be some good things and some bad things out this. Now, the WWE, this thing is all year long. You know, these superstars, they travel nonstop, brutal schedule. The only time they get a lot of breaks is when they get injured, like John Cena. Now, this come with the lifestyle. They know what being a WWE superstar is all about. You travel all year long, all over the country, just wrestling a lot of times, man, and not getting that much time off. Now, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey, all sports have off seasons. Wrestling, of course, don't have an off season. You don't get breaks from WWE. Now, to me, if they had an off season, you can do it after your biggest event, WrestleMania, their Super Bowl. Or you can have it that last Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Those will be the choice to me to end WWE to head into the off season. Now, I don't know how many months they should do it. Should they do it for 2 months? They can come back in July, because then you got SummerSlam in August. But the thing is, with them having an off season, you have wrestlers recovering. They can train, they can spend time with family and do other things. Because a lot of these wrestlers, they get burned out. Like at a guy like Sam Punk who wants to do things. They have an off season. These wrestlers can do things in their off season. You have creative people do certain things in their off season. Then a couple months later, before WWE's new season about to start, you have the creative, coming up new ideas, because even creative people get burned out too when they write storylines, and they can sit back and relax, like, you know what, we could do this. They could, talk about which new person they want to bring into Raw or SmackDown, stuff like that. They could all use it. And as wrestling fans, we can't never say we miss it, because we see it every single week on television. You have Raw, you have NXT on the WWE Network, you had SmackDown, you had pay-per-views. So you can't say you miss it. Now, if they did have the off season, a lot of fans could be geeked up for Raw coming back on months later. They could have a really good rating years. Or, if they have an off season, fans might actually forget that it's coming back, because that can happen also. But I don't think it'll be to the point where like a lot of fans will actually forget that, oh yes, the WWE is returning and Raw going to kick off the new season. So I don't know, would that be a bad thing? Like, can it really be a bad thing if they had off season? A lot of people might say, it could hurt business, but I don't know how it will actually hurt business, because they can still do certain things, like they can still sell merchandise. They will of course do that still, and other stuff. So I don't really see it being a bad thing if they had an off season. I think we can survive without WWE for about a month or two. I mean, that's what it needs: 1, 2, 3 month break. Return in the middle of July, and you just take off from right there. You have fans like me talking about, okay, what can they come up with? What's going to happen when WWE return? What type of storylines going to happen? What feuds going to happen? Who going to be new people from NXT coming over? So they can still have stuff like that right there. And you know what you can do? You can have NXT continuing, watch those new people, and you could say, oh man, that person, maybe he might be on Raw or SmackDown. So they can have that still continue, but you don't have Raw or SmackDown. Have the people who not on the main roster. You could do that right there, kind of like a little minor league thing when you're watching minor league WWE, but you have, of course, the other league WWE on a break. So they could do something like that also. Like, okay, we have an all season, but we have like a little minor season for y'all with these NXT guys. That would be a good idea to me. I mean, I think it could work. Of course, they can't bring it on USA, but the people who got the network, I say do that right there. I mean, to me, it'll make sense to do that right there, because we need to miss wrestling for a little while. I think we all do, man, because I can't take a break because social network, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. I don't have Facebook, but there's other social media outlets. You can always find out stuff about wrestling. So, I can deal with it, because I like to look at, certain things like, they can talk about, hey, maybe this feud could happen down the line. So it'll be a lot of things could actually work out of an all season because we don't miss it. We don't miss it at all because it just continues. And we need to miss it actually. Like how would it be for us to actually miss WWE? I like to see people on Twitter saying, "Oh man, I can't wait for WWE come back." I always see, "Oh man, I want NFL to come back. I can't wait for NFL to come back. I can't wait for basketball to come back." I would love to see how will fans be when WWE is actually in the off season. It'll be very interesting to see how things will play out. To me, it'll be more good than bad. Like I don't really see what would be the bad. Now, of course, it can be some bad outfits right here, but it can do a lot of good, man. A lot of wrestlers they need breaks, man. And they had these off seasons, a lot of these superstars would get burned out, would get frustrated. What's going on with storylines like CM Punk? If they had an off season, maybe a guy like CM Punk wouldn't leave because they could have just had their break. They won't be frustrated. Then, when they come back, they might have some new stuff for them. They might say, hey, you know what, Punk? We got some new stuff for you. I'm just saying, they can have that for certain superstars. Certain superstars get frustrated as hell and they just leave. But they have off season, these superstars can just chill. Then the creator will talk to them like, you know what? We're gonna do this with you, but now we want to do this right here. Because now, we've been off for a while. So we can try certain things with you. So, a lot of things like that can actually work out for superstars, the creative team events. They could promote other stuff. Just do other stuff, man. Like I was saying, merchandise. You do the NXT thing. So a lot of things they can still do, but just Raw and SmackDown. Hey, in the main roster, just give them a break for a little while, man. So I think we all need a break from WWE. We really do need a break. I wouldn't mind, not seeing WWE for a month or two because then you can be hungry as a fan to want to watch Raw. You can be so hungry. Oh, I can't wait for Raw to come back. Wait for Raw to come back. Don't wait to see SmackDown again. They'll do wonders for WWE to me. So I wondered, to y'all, is it a good idea or is it a bad idea? So give me your comments. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button. I am out. Peace.